here to talk about tagging. So after your items have been sorted and entered and hung up, the next thing you're going to want to do is tag them. So after you've printed your tags, they're going to come out on a sheet of cardstock, white cardstock specifically, nice and thick, and they're going to look like this. You'll have a barcode and your seller number and all of the details. If it is a donated item, it'll have a little tiny D in the corner right here. If my advice to you is to circle all the D's in red before you cut the tags, it just makes it a little bit quicker. And once you've cut all your tags, you're ready to put them on your items. So we have the same pair of shoes from earlier that are in a bag. So if I have an item like this that's going to flop around a lot, I always want to tape the tag to the inside of the bag, just so you don't lose the tag when people are like taking the shoes out to take a look at them, and people can pick up the item very quickly and see the size and the price right there. Sometimes if you've got like a whole bunch of swaddle blankets in a bag, or if you've got a bunch of onesies in a bag and it's like a nice tight full bag, then you might not need a piece of tape. But it's generally good to keep the tag from flopping around in the bag. Here are our shorts, and I don't have a tag for this yet, so I'm just going to use this piece of orange cardstock. So you can either use a safety pin or a tagging gun if you have one. And there are specific places on the clothes that are the best place to tag without damaging the clothes. So obviously if you have an item that has a tag like this, this is the best place. If some of the clothes, it'll have the brand just printed right on the back, like this Carter's shirt has it right on the back, so obviously you can't do it there. This one I'm going to choose to do the tag. If it was not there, I would put it in a seam. You can put it in a seam at the bottom. You can even put it through the seam down here without coming through the front of the shorts at all. If that's not an option, you can also find a seam near the pockets or up near the top. Generally, the goal is to not put a hole in the clothes if you can avoid it. If you absolutely can't, you can kind of tag to the front here. But I tend to overlook clothes that I think are going to have a bunch of holes in them, especially if you're using a tagging gun, because it's going to leave a bigger hole than a safety pin would. So because this has a tag though, I'm going to put it right in here. So you just secure it like that. And then back on the hanger. So these already have a tag on them because they are items that didn't sell at the last sale. This one, I went ahead and put it in the sleeve right there on the seam, and that's a nice place to hide things. You can also do it down here at the bottom. A lot of clothes have like care instruction tags at the bottom, even if it does not have a tag at the top, so you can put it in there, or you can put it in the seam inside the onesie right here. Those are areas that are going to do the least amount of damage. And the same for these pajamas. They didn't have a tag right here, so I put it in a seam inside the sleeve. But anybody can pick this up. They can see what it is. They can see how much it costs right away. And I didn't damage the clothes. Here's an example of a book. If you're going to tape the tags to anything, the best thing to use is painter's tape, because then when someone takes the tape off, you don't rip the book. If you absolutely have to, you can use masking tape. Do not use packing tape. Packing tape is the worst. It will almost always rip the thing that you're taking it off of. Even sometimes a plastic toy, it can sometimes rip the paint off of it. So try to use painter's tape if you can. If not, masking tape is okay. But if you're going to do a book, you can do the back of the book is the easiest. You can also do like inside the cover. But generally the back is a good spot for it. So big items like this, I went ahead and taped the tag right here because this is really on here. If you're worried that the piece is going to separate from the main item, then you can tag it on like the back here, or you can tag it on the seat. Just pretty much put the tag anywhere where there's a flat surface to tape it to. And the last example is a toy. So this is something that has small parts and a big piece. So I went ahead and bagged the small pieces to tuck inside the item, and you can close it up that way. I'll do a better job of that later. But I just taped it closed, and then I put the tag on the outside. And the thing that's nice about this is it keeps, there are a lot of kids running around at the sale, and if they're like taking a look at the toy or playing with the toy, if your items are not secured well, then you might lose pieces that go to your set. Oftentimes in the reject bin, we end up with tiny little dolls or little Matchbox cars or things that belong to a bigger piece like this, and they end up never finding their way back to the set because someone bought it without that piece. So do the best job you can securing everything together, making it play-proof as much as you can, and then just tape your tag on again with painter's tape if you can. But that's all the examples I have, and feel free to post any questions that you have.